Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed non-binaries, Trashkin, all good evening, and welcome to another episode of Trash Tier Gaming, where we're getting back into Stray Souls. Now, Trashkin, this comes with the usual horror warnings on top of photosensitivity. Flashing lights are present. So, if you have photosensitivity, please take all due precautions or give this one a miss. If I've said it once, I've said it a dozen times. You're more important than views or any other metric for that matter. So last time, we ended on the mysterious tree sword totem monster with that berserk style moveset, and our lead muttering about he was a good man, to which my natural rejoinder was, who? Whomst? Who the hell was that supposed to be? It seems like there's some missing files here. It, like, was there supposed to be a partially alive person? Was I supposed to notice that a body was missing on the way out? Like, what was that? So they jacked the police car, which mysteriously was empty of gas when I checked it, and blew a radiator. So, deep breath. We're about to get into the trash.
Damn. Hole in the radiator. Probably from when we smashed through the gate.
Hey, I mean, she got us this far.
20 more minutes and we would have been there.
Full refill. Nice.
I guess we're walking whether we want to or not.
Blood
How far
pool.
are we from the house?
Looks like we have another 5 or so miles to go once we get through town.
I'd say I didn't
Oh.
get my cardio in today.
Water bottle. Like, the detail work is good graphic-wise, and the design detail and notes are mostly good, but like, they keep talking about the cult, and I'm like, what about it? They're the freaking equivalent of the Alpha Marines. Ah, you see, it was our plan all along. Which I suspect will jump off and bite us directly in the plot. It's broken. Oh man, that looks like a nice alleyway. Wow, this is thrashed. Mason family must be dead and gone, because they'd roll over in their graves if they saw this. Oh, that's the curve. Just kind of put the pavers over to imply busted, I guess. And from what I've heard, Tello, this is where the combat gets real grating. Dumpster. That ain't good stuff either. If it's in a bag, you don't want no part of it, trust me. Well, they want me to go that way, so I'm gonna check this way first. Oh, hello. Alright, brace yourself, it's story time. Game. June 6, 2000. Nobody tells you how hard it is to just uproot your life and start over. Yeah, that's a weird artifact. That floating artifact bugged me. It's even harder with... Game! Knock it off with the prompt. It's It's even harder when you don't feel like there's any support system for you to fall back on. Well, now I'm here and... I guess writing everything down will be my substitute for therapy. I knew change was coming and I somewhat prepared for it. But now it's done and I'm here staring at these blank walls in a place I'll have to learn to call home. I feel completely exhausted. About a month ago, something happened that I don't know if I can talk about yet, mostly because I don't think I've been able to wrap my head around it. One thing I do know is that when it happened, I knew something had to change. I hadn't ever really questioned my beliefs, the beliefs my parents raised me with until that day, but seeing the contradiction with my own eyes opened the floodgates of doubt. Saying that it provoked an existential crisis would be a hearty understatement. The worst part of it all being the impending accession. That's what we called it when someone reached the age of adulthood. I'm still a kid, although everyone in my community had come to this arbitrary agreement that hitting a certain age milestone made us somehow instantly capable of handling a whole new set of responsibilities. I simply didn't see things the same. My mom always said that I had an issue with authority, that if I didn't get it in check, it would lead me down a dark path. In my mind, my mother was simply the type of person who was comfortable being told how things were, and accepted it all without question. I've never been like that. I've always clashed with her growing up. My take on things was always to look for the truth in any situation, and if it didn't add up, ask questions. Sure enough, I got labeled as a rebel, but honestly, who wants to go through life like a sheep, being led to the slaughter? So, the night before the Ascension ceremony, I threw a change of clothes into my backpack and just left. I had a little cash set aside for this, and it was more than enough to buy a ticket out of Michigan, and that's how I ended up in a tiny efficiency apartment somewhere in the middle of the armpit of America. It's an old building, and I don't have much in the way of furnishings, but I'm free. Free from the stupid religion that my parents force-fed me since birth. Free from a community of people so set in their ways they would commit unspeakable acts against others to appease their God. Free to start a new life of normalcy and do my best to integrate into society around me. My only worry is that I didn't cover my tracks well enough. Well, that we're radiant here does not bode well for them. Ah, the Forbidden Street. Oh, them some potholes. Not Silent Hill-sized potholes, but them some potholes. Well, the game is vaguely indicating to me. Where'd you go, sis? Aspen. Beam tunnels? This far? Nah, it can't be.
Whatever's happening hit hard here.
Where are you?
So fast. Everything was fine a few days ago, but now everywhere we go, there's just death. It's insane.
Something is definitely strange. The further we go, the worse things seem to be. There has to be some sort of explanation.
Oh, these row houses. Like, you got your factory. Yeah, brick factories. Those actually are fairly common up north. 2 ammo. 3 ammo. 4. Alright, I'm gonna have to remember that. This is a good breakaway, even if it's a dead end.
There might be someone in there who can help us.
I sincerely doubt it. Latched. Okay. No interact, no interact. Locked. That's a nice 200-pound propane tank. Entirely necessary up here in some spots. Look, infrastructure isn't great off the highway, I tell you what. Hell, sometimes on the highway the infrastructure isn't great. Drum disc brake service. Oh goddamn, that's a rarity. How about no? Alright, how about aha. Coal wine, 1874. Dark like your future, bitter like your life. Oof. Well, we found our way in. Now what do, game? Okay, I didn't catch what that was too, but I assume it's a good thing. Hold on. Alright, September 9th, 2000. So I've kept myself busy with my new life and the job at the video store is going well. I even got a promotion to shift lead. It isn't much, but it's honest work, and I get all the free rentals I can handle. I ended up buying a TV and VCR for that very reason, and I have been catching up on all the movies I missed while growing up. Over 500 films consumed since I last wrote. I'm doing a better job of writing those down than keeping up with this journal. My life has become routine. Wake up, go to work, come home, watch a few movies, go to bed, repeat the whole process again. Making friends is a lot harder than I expected, although I do get along well with my coworkers. Everyone keeps asking about my past, and I think that's where the disconnect happens. I'm just not ready to talk about it with another human being yet. I don't think they would understand, and I'm not going to try her. I'm not trying to make people think I'm weird. Truth is, my past is weird. Holding on to these memories is hard, but I know that writing them down works as a way to purge them. It's just during the act of writing, I feel like I relive those memories. They're so vivid. I feel like I could step through the veil of time and be there once again, seeing those things, doing those things. The nights are hardest for me. I've been suffering some intense insomnia. My body will reach the tipping point just before I sleep and jerk awake. Sometimes it'll happen over and over until my alarm goes off and I have to start the day again. When I do manage a few hours of sleep, I can't remember my dreams, but I know they can't be good because I keep waking up feeling completely stressed, covered in sweat. Given time, I hope I'll move past this, but right now, I'm just putting a mask on every time I set foot outside my apartment. I'm not ready to let anyone in, so I go to work, do my job, and come home. I even take extra shifts when I can, just so I don't have to be at home with my thoughts. It's a horrible feeling being exhausted all the time, not being able to show it, not being able to tell anyone that's really going on. Susan, my boss, tried to invite me to dinner with her family. I immediately declined. Just the thought of having to go to her house and make small talk with her and her husband while her kids ran around like the feral kids they are. No, thank you. Come to think of it, I don't really know why her kids bother me so much. In my other life, I had a whole tribe of youngsters in my care. I really enjoyed being around them, but maybe that's seeing things through rose-colored glasses. We were all prisoners in a way. So we all knew that getting along wasn't a choice, but a requirement to avoid punishment. Older kids look after younger ones. This is starting to sound very, very fundamentalist Latter-day Saints. For those of you not in the know, those are the ones that advocate for polygamy, not to be confused with polyamory, or as they like to call it, plural marriage, in which, yeah, the younger kids end up looked after by the elder, which doesn't seem to fit what's going on. Like, no other groundwork's been laid for that, but if it's a crazy splinter Christian group, I wouldn't put it terribly far off the map. Older kids looked after younger one. That was the hierarchy, and we weren't supposed to question it. As a matter of fact, any form of question posed to an adult would end up with a trip to the hole, which was a sort of solitary confinement. Some kids went funny after a visit there. Others just never came back. My group was generally well behaved, but there was one kid who always caused trouble. He never went to the hole, though. I guess that was because of who his mother was. It's hard to think about all of this, and as time goes by, my conscious memory of that life is fading more and more. I honestly can't remember what the kid's name was or who his parents were. There's just a sense that even though he was the class clown and troublemaker of my group, I always felt bad for him, like his home life was way worse than anything that the rest of us experienced. No matter, I'm here now. I've gotten out, and I aim to keep it that way. Going to bed now. I'll try to write a little more in the coming days, and maybe it'll knock some more cobwebs loose so I can finally purge the rest of this negativity. Let's see if my brain will let me catch any rest tonight. Got the strap. Let's go. Well, it's the only nearby door. Ah.
Holy shit, Marty, come look! We may not have to walk the whole way.
Oh
Marty?
my god, it's in perfect shape!
Marty! How can you see it? Is it good on the other side, Marty? Oh, hello. If you're looking for the keys to Bobby's cars, they're at Rami's pub. He decided to get shit-faced, so the sheriff came and picked him up. Emma grabbed his keys sometime earlier tonight. I guess she had the foresight for that. So whenever you clock in, go pick those keys off so we can drop the vehicle off at his house.
Okay, so we head to the bar, grab the keys, and sneak our way back here past those things outside. And then we're home free.
Sounds good. I wasn't too excited about hiking through the ass end of nowhere today.
It's just strange, you know?
What's strange?
I mean, this whole town just feels wrong. Where is everybody? It's just weird how since we got here, we've seen no sign of life besides those things. Everything looks as though there were people here an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm not trying to dwell on that.
The note said the keys are at the bar, and that's as good a place as any to start looking for clues. In small towns like this, the local bar gets more foot traffic than a church. And usually the owners are fairly well connected. I don't know, maybe that's where everyone went.
Well, no time like the present to check.
Before we get into this dance number, Trashkin, I'd like to remind you that part of the demo's selling point was fight or flight, that the choice was yours. So I want you to read again carefully that directive. Defeat all monsters. They're really committed to those dogs, huh? Well. Alright, that's problematic. And that's game. I see a gas can beside the pumps there. See, the pile of shotgun shells make me think we're getting a shotgun, but no. Well, the fog wall's gone. So we're looking for Rami's bar. Let's see what we find. Dumpsters. Oh, 4-yarders. Why do we Americans measure our dumpsters in freedom units? I don't know. Feel I'd understand more about the world if I did. Ooh. Is pretty. Could use it. Whoa. You ever just get the feeling that you're playing through the padding section? Yep. Nice if we can keep track of them. Stock up. Well, I see what they mean by grading combat at this point. Yeah, 22 health. We're doing gangbusters, Trashkin. Got a whole pip of health left. Like, they started off with fight or flight, Silent Hills 2 style implied. And then they went to... we gotta pad it for time. Oh, hello. I'm sorry, but padding what's supposed to be a weird, narrative-driven horror survival with combat. Some of the time you can get away with it, but this just feels like padding to me. And the problem is, this padding is leaning on what's your least well put together facet, combat. Like, I suppose it could be used in the role more, but I'm so busy trying to create space, I keep forgetting about it. Feels kind of weird that it doesn't have, like, a stamina system to prevent me from just, you know, rolling up the street.
Happening can't have spread that fast.
Yeah, you'd expect some sirens and flashing lights at least. But this whole place just feels dead.
Marty's on the other side. Marty's in the upside down now. I don't know why. I troubleshoot it, but I'm afraid of what else the game might come up with if I do. Like, Marty's just heck of nowhere, man. feels like a freeway. Let's check the dead end. Just in case there's some readables here. Piles of ammo, but so few places for me to put it now. Look, I'd have happily taken an expanded ammo upgrade before quick shot. Just saying. Or a shotgun. Or even a dinky little hunting rifle. Alright. Last spare mag plus 5. Gotta get a better angle. How did you go? Well, gotta wait for a good shot. Detection system on these seems real RNG driven. That set didn't detect me at all, and then J Rando came around the corner. Oh, you come over here. I got some cheddar for you. Some melted down Kraft American singles. Some beer and cheese soup. One more behind him. Looks like 2. See him pacing? Snake out the feet just barely. First thing to do is to clear these sides. Do not want to get ambushed here. Okay, well, I got time enough to pick up the ammo, so I will. You know what else would be really nice? A holster. Oh, you get high priority there, doggo. You guys vaguely get in my vicinity most of the time. The aim movement is just ever so slightly two-step. Come on, come on, come on! Relax, breathe. And Evil Dead. You know, I'm no physicist, but I don't feel like they can support the weight of their body in that direction for long. It's almost like something else is hauling them up and emptied them. Well, the music's still going, tells me there's some more, so we'll stock up now. Alright, how much we got? Alright, full meg. Let's rock. Let's see more baddies. Which makes me nervous. Congratulations, you ambushed me once, game. Let me fiddle with something real quick here, Trashkin. Just... Oh... I think it's on set increments. Is it the slightest tap? Yeah, it feels like it's set to increments instead of through. Like, the movement still happens. It's real floaty to me, though. Well, I'll burn one of these. Well, if I was forced to guess... Nope. Also no. Alright, what about here? Is there a way for the alleyway now? No, but damn near looks like those weeds are growing corn. Alright. Guess let's reconnoiter the dead end. Every now and again, there's something I'm supposed to pick up on. Nope. Invisible walled. Right. What the hell, man? Did we just fight down a dead end because that's where the monsters were? You at least do me the courtesy of making that relevant to progress. Alright. That was barricaded. Oh, the background music is the least interesting. Well, Trashkin, I might be stumped for a minute here. I do apologize. Occasionally, I just don't get what the game wants from me. Find the local bar. Oh, there's... Aha. Went right into the woodwork. Yeah, why not? Hell of a city, Aspen. Straight up have first aid boxes at every corner. Everybody's so trustworthy. Alright, game. Give me your horrible surprise. Got the magic pistola. Locked and loaded. Let's... wait. Big open park. Plenty of medical supplies and ammo? Ah, it's another boss fight. Well. Nope, it's just a park full of baddies, okay. Oh boy, this is just a delight, I tell you what. That's me. Not that way. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Not quick enough. There we go. Woo! More ammo. More ammo. I'm gonna feel real slick if I get this off without a hit. Success! Stop putting pistol away when I gain ammo, game. It's real annoying. Two megs should be enough. 2 megs on reserve should be enough. I hope. I pray. Alright, this is the corner we haven't been to. Holy shit, we pulled it off without getting hit. Alright, who is this jerk? Some dude in a suit sitting his broad butt on a comfy chair. Alright, I want a full load. 36. So help me glob game. It looks like the place. I'm gonna scope the scene though. Hopefully Marty will make another appearance before the end of the game here. Or maybe she's just lost in the upside down permanent die. You know, a little work to give the bar the title you gave it in the note would be nice. Well, I can't say they're stingy with the ammo anywhere but the start. Though I still want a shotgun. Hello. Oh, come on, game. Just come on. There we go. January 12th, 2002. I'm going back to get my things today. I'm super nervous about setting foot back in that apartment. But I really don't have a choice. I spent all day yesterday figuring out what I would do about my apartment and my job, and during that process, Fell into a bit of luck. Looks like there's another store in town in a store in a city close by that needs a new general manager. So I'm taking that position. My boss commented on the serendipity of my asking for a transfer right when the position became available. When I called the office at my apartment complex, they told me the neighbors 2 doors down from me had been caught doing some illicit things in their apartment, and due to whatever it was they were doing, the whole building had to be evacuated until they could get a cleaning crew there. I guess it had something to do with all the chemicals I kept seeing them bring in and out. Meth. They were cooking meth. Either way, they told me that this was the type of thing that allowed me to break my lease and move, and they even offered to pay for my hotel until I could find a new apartment. How lucky for me. Okay, that is a landlord in either a state where tenants have some good rights, or that is the kind of landlord that doesn't suck. Or a super that is tired of the landlord's shit. I even found a new apartment in the city I'm planning to move to. The whole process took an hour, and I was set up to go see my new place in a few days and get the paperwork signed to move in. All that's left is to pick up my rental truck and go empty out my apartment. It's not much, so I don't expect to be there too long. I'm getting a fairly early start, so I don't have to be there in the dark. I'm buying lots of lamps for my next apartment, and I really hope nothing follows me. That kind of suggests I missed a note. Trashkin, I'm going to fiddle for just a minute before we make some forward progresso here. Ah, pay dirt, Trashkin, I missed one. Don't be like that, game. Ah, January 10th, 2002. I'm writing this from a hotel around 30 minutes away from my apartment. I'm not staying there anymore. Time to look for a new place. I had 45 days of peace. No sounds, no bad dreams, no more 3 a.m. wake-ups from unseen forces banging down my door. All that ended a few hours ago. A couple of months back, I had gone to see a man I had heard about. While researching my situation, he had been a missionary in Central America for 30 years before returning to the States for his retirement. His name was John Matlick, although he insisted I call him Jack. And he had become a recognized expert in certain circles for his knowledge of the occult, primarily demonology. He was a kind man in his early 70s, standing a full 6 feet tall with a shock of unruly white hair. I wondered out loud if his hair had gone white from all the scary things he had witnessed, and that elicited a laugh. I explained the situation at my apartment, being very careful not to divulge anything from my past before moving in there. Somehow he knew anyway. I described each horrific occurrence. Jack kept asking me if I had gone through some sort of spiritual or religious trauma, or if I had left an abusive religious family. He even asked if I, or anyone I knew personally, was involved in a cult. So I told him everything. When I finished, I felt a huge weight roll off my shoulders. Jack encouraged me to write it down, and I'm building up to that, one day at a time. Then he offered to take me back to my apartment to try a few things. There's sort of like cleansing rituals, just without as many steps, he said kindly. More like a prayer and some words that have been effective in other cases. At this point, I didn't care. I spent well over a year dealing with these things, and I was grasping at straws. When Jack came through the door of my place, I had a strange feeling that everything would be okay. I kept looking around, almost expecting to see some physical manifestations of my troubles, but all I saw was a mostly furnished apartment. But something was there, and it was hung oppressively in the air, seeming to swallow the kind man who was there to help me. He pulled out an old leather-bound book and quickly flipped to a specific page and began reading quietly. As he was doing so, I felt whatever oppressive presence was filling the room dissipate. That night, I had my first fully unbothered sleep since leaving Aspen Falls. I woke up the next day feeling refreshed and at peace. I got comfortable when there should have been no sign of activity for over a month. I should have known it wouldn't last. I started right as I went to bed last night. First, it was the sound of footsteps behind me, but there was nobody there. After I climbed into bed, I heard a click and looked over to see my closet door swing open with a dry creak. I was about to get out of bed to close the door when I felt a mighty force wrap itself around my body and push me back down into the mattress. A booming voice called out, "I found you." And the moment It stopped speaking, all energy went out of the room. I took the opportunity to grab a few things and leave. Alright, I kind of want to make sure I didn't miss any more Trashkin, because you know how these things go. Like, there's a 2-year gap. I feel like 2001 is worth reading on at this point. And there we are. If I'm reading these notes, it's probably because the strongest portion of the game so far. I had a nightmare last night. I've had them before, but not like this. I've read that some people can control their dreams. Lucid dreaming is what it's called, but it makes it sound more like something pleasant. It wasn't pleasant for me. I got home from work around 10 p.m., looking forward to some leftover lasagna and a refreshing glass of iced tea. Yesterday was a long day at work, inventory day. Oof. Tedious, mind-numbing work after a full shift dealing with crazy customers. It was a full moon last night, and I swear people turn into wild animals every time the moon shows its round face to the world. Who knows? Maybe that's what instigated the nightmare. The funny thing is, I don't remember falling asleep. I know I'd finished my food and was halfway through my second glass of tea. I was watching a late-night broadcast of Wizard of Oz, and Dorothy had just arrived in a whole new world of Technicolor, when suddenly, much like Dorothy herself, I was somewhere else. I've written before about how some of my memories from the past feel so vivid at times, and this was a similar feeling, just more intense. I didn't recognize my surroundings, and yet they felt all too familiar. Even the smell of the place burned its way into my nose. It was the smell of wet soil tinged with a note of copper. I knew I was underground because there was no light. It took a moment for my eyes to adjust, and I could see the vague outline of pillars stretching upwards into the darkness. Somewhere in the distance, I could hear the muffled sounds of someone struggling. After taking a few steps forward, I could see the outline of what looked like a stone altar, someone laid on top, bound with rope, struggling to get free. I started moving toward them quickly, intent on freeing them. But then, from behind me, I could hear the sound of a person choking. I looked down and was mortified to see my own hands wrapped around the throat of the bound person on the altar. She was young, with dark brown hair, and her face was eerily familiar, though I couldn't place it. How did I get here? What was I doing? These thoughts and more raced through my head. I could feel my grip tighten as I lost control of my body, and was witnessing all of this without any ability to make it stop. A moment later, I felt their throat crushed beneath my fingers. Waves of disgust washed over me, and the next thing I remember, I was leaning over the edge of the altar and vomiting. And then I was no longer there. I was standing at the door of an old house. I felt something cold in my hands and looked down to see a set of keys. My other arm moved on its own and rang the doorbell. From inside the house, I could hear someone coming to the door, and I heard them say, "That was fast." Without thinking, I kneeled down and slipped the keys through the crack under the door. My body stood, and I turned to leave, but I had been moved again to another place. Although this time I knew right where I was, back home in Aspen Falls. There was a park nearby the town home I grew up in. I was standing at the gazebo in the park, and it was storming. The sky was dark except for the occasional flash of light, and rain was pouring down relentlessly. Then I heard it. Something big was coming towards me. It was grunting and groaning in the most awful way. Lightning flashed, and I saw it was huge. A massive pile of flesh that had maybe once been a person, shambling directly towards the gazebo. I was frozen in place as the monstrosity drew closer and closer. Just before it set one foot in the gazebo, I woke up. My body was tired, covered in sweat. My stomach was doing flip-flops. I rolled out of bed, and my foot landed on something warm and slimy. My vomit, at least part of the nightmare, had been real. I figured I should write this down, since I normally can't remember the content of my dreams. I honestly wondering if this is why I kept waking up feeling stressed and sick for all that time last year. I think it's about time I write down what I remember. Purge it all for good. Maybe then the bad dreams and noises would stop. Ugh. That's a rough go of it. Well, back to the bar. You know, Trashkin, I feel a little slow in the uptake. The townhouse right across from the park. Yeah, they're giving us a clue where to find the next note. If I had found that other one, I'd have been on the trail from the start. You know, just in case I want to check the gazebo again. Didn't see anything here the last time. See, well, this seems like a prime spot for a note, don't it? Ah, they broke the pattern, but what can you do? I feel that note over there should be in the gazebo. Oh well. Like, it's so fitting. Like, it's mentioned, it's already on your mind. What am I scrabbling around back dungeons for? Or back alleyways for? 12 days in June!
Said that dad was an alcoholic. You think this was his watering hole?
Could be.
Probably. The clearest memory I have is
Ooh.
the smell of his breath when he would get home.
Oof.
Beer and cigarettes. It was gross, but also kind of comforting.
Weird. Where'd I get that?
Well, if you
I
grew
thought
up
the
around
father wasn't a
smokers,
drunk.
either you hate the smell
I
of
do remember the
tobacco
way it
or...
smell after work. We're good people. Him and my adoptive mom. They were strict. They always showed me love.
Lucky you. I got shuffled around the foster system for years until a family took me in. They weren't the worst people, but I never quite felt at home there. Probably why I got a job as soon as I could and moved out.
You still talk to them?
Holidays mostly, but no, not really.
Let's see. I'm drunk and you're insane. Who's gonna lead us home? Oh, do we have another note or just a receipt? Ah, note. Somebody from Aspen Garage will be by today to pick up the keys to Bobby's car. We should really ban that asshole from the premises. I swear, I caught him taking a piss in the alleyway out back before he started the ruckus last night. Sheriff Mason... Interesting. A Mason's... at the sheriff's. Sheriff Mason. So that's considered infrastructure. His hands full with that... Oh, come on, it's a newspaper. Quarantined. Too soon. Oh man, can I? Bigger man. Okay, that earns you some points. Okay, that is a bop. Right, those are the keys. I'm pretty sure that'll trigger something. Lock out.
Finally, we got wheels!
Let's get back to the car post-haste.
Yeah. Is it time for a sweet guitar solo? What about a slap bass version? He says, can you play the drums? Ah. Here we go. Show me boss fight. Oh, do it all again. Stunlock extravaganza. And damage. Oh, nope, we got lucky. Okay. Oh, joy. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Alright, gear out. Let's get that last. Alright, we got room for another load of ammo. We're low on health, so we're going to grab from the far end of things. Make sure we minimize backtracking when possible. Not doing great on health. I gotta say, well, I don't particularly appreciate this backtracking combat. I do dig the storm effect. That you did well. But I gotta take those same points away for fight your way back to the car. Nice lightning effect. Alright, load up. Oh, that is cheap. Yeah, eventually. Oh, we're getting a completely different route here. Woo! Okay, there's one more roaming around somewhere here. I missed one somewhere. Nothing like hunting the baddies in a storm, eh? Do you have a spawn fail or something? Do we have another glitch? I think we might have glitched out, Trashkin. We normally make enough noise I can hear them before I'm anywhere near them, but alright, monster spawned inside a building. Well, hell, man. You still up? Well, hell, man. That's upsetting. Let's try a reload, shall we? Oh, Marty's back from the underground. Terrific. Wait, stop, reload. Hold on, that time it didn't de-equip my pistol. Oh, game. You're so buggy. Okay, that time it did. Oh, it didn't? What the what? It's been doing that for at least 2 hours. Oh, game. I wish I could make sense of you. And the storm effects knocked it right off. I'm a little sad about that, actually. Nope. There we go. Well, that was weird sounding. What even got me that time? Do you know Trashkin was I sure as hell don't? I think one of them might have spawned in incorrectly. And... reload. Okay, now I'm not sure if it'll put the gun away or not when I reload.
It's huge!
Guess I gotta get in range to deal with it. Yay! So last time I'm guessing the spawns just aired out. That's real rough. You should probably patch that, buddy. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do a combat-intensive section, then you really need to have it together. You should make sure the monsters are spawning correctly, not, you know, inside of inaccessible buildings. Oh, it's a ramp. One more boss fight for old time's sake. What do you say, game? Well, we got no medical. And we're kinda in rough shape. I feel like they're gonna just bring another boss on me. Truly. I do.
No time like the present, Marty. Let's get that car started and get the hell out of here.
We lost Marty again. Ah, there you are. This time don't drive through any gates, okay? Oh, game! How could you? I knew they were gonna make me get gas the second I saw that can. Oh, game, you're so close to me going, oh, thank God. Ah. No. 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 Do I just carry it in then? Shut the door. Oh, there we go. I was honestly expecting something nasty there.
Hold them off until the door's up.
I was afraid of that. Okay, full health.
Come! Hold them off until the door's up.
Whoa, that is way too loud. Let me dial that back some. I don't know what happened, but the sound level just went through the roof. Okay, okay, hopefully now my eardrums won't cave in.
Won't you just fucking die? You all those video games have a penny.
And we apply the cheese. Here we go. Oh, you are lucky that counts as a barrier, friend. That doesn't. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Please. Hell's bells, man. Aha! One more Meg, one more chance at redemption, baby.
Get it done!
Woo! Mama! Pest Patrol, defeat all enemies in Aspen Falls. That doesn't really feel like an achievement. Oh. Hold on. Let's get the settings back to standard. Wait, the effects reset the so that was an unintelligible mess. Alright. Daniel and Martha survive the horrors of Aspen Falls and make the short drive to the parents' home. They arrive to find a desolate farmhouse. And that is gonna do it for this session, Trashkin, because that's all I can take of Stray Souls. It hurts to fight in this game. It just feels bad. Alright. So, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I'd like to thank you all for bearing with me. I'd like to remind you all that you can, of course, at any time, join the Trashkin around the trash fire anytime you'd care to by hitting the subscribe button. And, of course, likes, comments, shares, dislikes, engagement of any kind is deeply appreciated because YouTube doesn't do the heavy lifting, especially on horror content. I've been your humble host, Raspa Trashbear, and until next time on Trash Tier Gaming. Count your spoons, hydrate, medicate, and take care of yourself as best you can. Remember to tell the people you love in your life you give a good damn. Don't forget to play some games. Good night, and I'll see you all in the next one.